In Mpumalanga, I want to take you straight back now to Pietermaritzburg. There seems to be some commotion in that area where there's clashes between various political parties. Simphiwe Makhanya is on scene. Simphiwe, tell us what you're witnessing there.
Chaotic scenes here in one of the voting stations in Pietermaritzburg. A short while ago, we saw a convoy of the leader of the EFF, that's Julius Malema, being prevented by some of the supporters of the ANC from entering this voting station. His protection unit has had to push the crowd away. Plain, as I speak to you, emotions are very high here in Pietermaritzburg. The protection of Julius Malema has had to force this gate to be opened, and some of the supporters of the EFF are chanting as I speak to you. They are saying Sangena Lana, no one is going to deny us entry here. And of course, Plain, you recall that there has been these issues when it comes to political intolerance being raised by some of the ANC supporters and members. I'm going to try and speak to the leader of the EFF at the moment as this is happening here. Mr. Malema, it's SABC. Mr. Malema, let's take this opportunity to engage you. All right, we're going to try Plain and get a comment from the leader of the EFF. As you can see, the situation is very chaotic here, Plain. Some of the supporters of the EFF accompanying the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema. And as I speak to you, some are being assaulted. I'm going to ask my colleague Tulani to show you these visuals as one of the supporters of the ANC is being manhandled by the protection unit of the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema. Dramatic scenes unfolding here in Pietermaritzburg, Plain. I'm going to now try and squeeze in and get a comment from the leader of the EFF, Mr. Malema. What an unfortunate incident.
It's a madness. I mean, how do you block people from coming into a voting station? It's very unfortunate. The ANC is blocking the gate. There's nothing we can do. But there's no way we cannot come in here. There's no way. We're here to check if our comrades are doing well here. And it must be a free movement.
We saw a short while ago some of the supporters being manhandled by your protection unit. What do you say to them?
It's very unfortunate. I mean, we must not allow that. People should not manhandle each other. There must be the highest form of tolerance. But what can they do when people are refusing with the gate? They want to open the gate. They want to open an access for us. We have not provoked anyone. You can see we're very peaceful.
Are you not concerned about your safety?
Safety? I mean, I'm here to do my work. And if they want to do anything, let them do it. There's no way I will not be intimidated by anyone. No one can intimidate me. I'm here to do my work.
What does this say about the level of political tolerance?
No, the ANC is intolerant. Why are they intolerant? I don't know. Who said there should be no-go areas? There can be. There will never be a place where there is a no-go area. We go everywhere. And there's no one who's going to block us. We campaign everywhere. The ANC campaigns everywhere. We never stop them. So why are they stopping us?
Yesterday, the ANC released a statement making an allegation that some of your supporters and members are basically, tampering with their posters, putting your face instead of the face of their president, that's Cyril Ramaphosa. What do you say specifically to those allegations?
The ANC has got no posters. I mean, why are you replacing ANC posters? The ANC has got no posters. And therefore, we can't say there's anyone who's removing ANC posters. No one is removing ANC posters. Yes. We put our posters. We don't remove ANC posters. The ANC has got no posters.
Yesterday, of course, we received the news of the passing away of the mayor of the city of Johannesburg. Your reaction?
Well, I send my condolences to the family of Jolie. We grew up together. We were together in the youth league. It is very unfortunate that the accident happened. When I go back to Joburg, I'll be visiting the family. We grew up together with Jolie in the youth league, and it's so unfortunate that he passed away very young, a promising leader, disciplined leader, with the highest form of political tolerance. And that is the type of leadership that we cherish, and will miss him dearly. This is personal for me because I had a very close relationship with Jolie.
Besides this incident, Mr. Malema, this unfortunate incident which has happened now, what is your overall assessment of this registration process?
Well, the registration is moving smoothly, and this is an isolated incident. I've never seen anything like this. We share space with the ANC. We have tables everywhere with the ANC. But this type of thuggerish conduct is very unfortunate, really. I mean, I really don't understand why the ANC will behave in this way. But generally things are fine. And even the levels of political tolerance in KZN has improved drastically. And if you listen to me yesterday addressing the EFF supporters, I spoke peace, I spoke tolerance. That it is only through peaceful elections of KZN that the EFF will emerge. The ANC is threatened, and our people must deal with the ANC decisively in the polls.
I'm Nonkuleo from SABC News. Are you going to lodge a complaint with the IEC following this incident?
Absolutely. We are going to lodge a complaint with the IEC. The IEC leadership is here. I've seen the lady of the IEC filming the whole incident. We are going to complain, definitely. This is unacceptable. The ANC must be disqualified, particularly in this ward, for conducting themselves in the manner they did. Yes.
But from your side, Mr. Malema, finally, before we let you go, your protection unit didn't do anything wrong, because we saw some of the supporters of the ANC being manhandled and some of them being assaulted on camera. So what do you say specifically to that incident?
No, it's unfortunate. I mean, what do you want the protection unit to do? The gate is being closed. They are opening the gate, and people threaten them and threaten to damage our cars. They have to do their work. They are doing their work. It's not an incident that the EFF started. They didn't start it. I saw the leadership of the EFF trying to talk to the ANC people. Some of the locals taking advantage that they know each other. Maybe they will understand one another. It didn't work. We don't encourage violence. And even from the protection unit, I said to them, I don't want to see anyone taking out a firearm here. Don't do that. Continue to be tolerant and speak peacefully in a civilized manner with these people. When the ANC people were being manhandled, I'm the one who was calling order. I mean, you saw me, I was standing here, I was saying, stop what you are doing. And when I saw the other one trying to reach out for a firearm, I said, you are not going to discharge a firearm here. It's not going to happen.
Yes. Thank you very much for your time. Well, Blaine, that's the situation here in Pietermaritzburg, one of the voting stations in the area of KwaDambuza. This, by the way, Blaine, is the home of the SACP Secretary General, Dr. Blade Nzimande. I'm going to ask my colleague Tulani Ngobo as I walk outside, just to give you a sense of the mood, of the current mood of the supporters of both the ANC as well as the EFF outside this voting station. We have seen quite a few police vans being stationed outside here, and it would seem that the situation is now beginning to, be under control. But it was very chaotic since the leader of the EFF had to be escorted in by his protection unit, and they had to force entry into this voting station. As you can see, my colleague Tulani Ngobo giving you those nice visuals of the gate, which had to be, pushed, and it's currently just on the ground as I speak to you. Emotions very high, Blaine. You did earlier on pose the question about the issue of political tolerance, and when we walked to this area playing a short while ago. We saw the supporters of both the ANC and EFF chanting slogans, singing, but no one would have expected what has just unfolded here at this voting station. It would seem that commotion is still continuing. The members of the EFF are accusing supporters of the ANC of planning this and being responsible for what is currently happening. The leader of the EFF is currently inside this voting station with some of his protection unit members playing.
All right, Simphiwe, so if viewers have just joined us now, we've seen chaotic scenes at a voting station in Pietermaritzburg, currently doing voter registration. So we understand this correctly. Is it just EFF and ANC supporters that have clashed? Any other parties involved in this commotion at this stage?
From what we can see on the ground, it's supporters of the ANC as well as supporters of the EFF. There is no other political party that we see here as I speak to you. Some of them are wearing, obviously, party t-shirts, regalia, which shows that they come from those political parties. They are very still much angry, these members of the community here, saying that basically saying that this area is Guatambuza and no one is going to come here anyhow and do anything playing.
Simphiwe, I know the situation is volatile, so your safety is priority. If you feel safe enough, would it be possible to hear from the other side, the ANC supporters, in terms of why this happened?
We will certainly get a comment from the ANC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. But of course, it would seem that police are now beginning to take control of the situation. I can see a few of them already, around this crowd. The crowd is still very much angry, And when we spoke to the leader of the EFF a short while ago, he's accusing, of course, ANC supporters of what is just transpired now.
Right. When we crossed earlier on, Simphiwe, one of the comments I made is that the environment and the interactions between the two parties seemed friendly. What triggered it? What went wrong?
To answer your question, Blaine, the answer to that is I don't know. But obviously when emotions are high and people, are excited, these sort of situations may very well occur, Blaine. But when the leader of the EFF visited Phoenix yesterday and other townships such as Umlazi and Kwamashu, none of this, transpired, even though there were, supporters from both these political formations, Blaine, from the ANC as well as the EFF. But the environment was jovial, the environment was friendly. But in this community where we are playing, the environment is not that friendly. I'm going to ask my colleague now, Tulani Ngobo, to walk with me as we try and get visuals of the leader of the EFF as he's being now escorted out of the voting station. His protection unit is with him as I speak to you, Blaine. We're going to try and give you those visuals. And apologies to our viewers for the unstable picture. But this is what is currently happening now outside this voting station in Pietermaritzburg, in the community of Guatambuza. I'm going to give our viewers a sense of what is being said by supporters of the ANC and EFF. I'm walking, my brother.
Difficult to hear me. Simphiwe, I know it's probably difficult to hear me, but if you can, earlier on we had some visuals of what seemed like a gate being pushed. Just talk to us about what we didn't see. Do we have those visuals? Okay, so these are earlier visuals. This is what we've seen earlier on, just moments ago, before we crossed to Simphiwe Makhanya. What looks like a fence or gate being pushed around. Simphiwe, if you can hear us, walk us through what we saw earlier on with that metal structure being pushed around.
Certainly, Blaine, what you saw is exactly what transpired. Even now, Blaine, as we speak, there are a few, one or two ANC supporters being pushed away from the protection unit of the EFF leader. That's Mr. Julius Malema. He's walking now on the streets because when we spoke to him, Blaine, he did say that this is a free country and no one is going to be prevented from campaigning, and so he's taking a posture of saying that he's going to go anywhere in this part of the province and no one is going to be stopping him from campaigning. His supporters flanking him, obviously singing songs. Let's give you a natural sound, Well, Plains, those are the visuals of the supporters of the EFF as well as the leader of the EFF, Mr. Julius Malema. He's currently walking the streets of KwaDambuza Plain. This is the home area of the Secretary General of the SACP. That's Dr. Blade Nzimande. Some of the supporters Plain that were, being, escorted out of that voting station after having tried to prevent the leader of the EFF from entering the premises, were saying that this is KwaDambuza. No one is going to come here and behave anyhow. So, and the leader of the EFF is unfazed at all by what has just transpired, saying that he's going to go anywhere in this part of the province and do his work of campaigning, and no one is going to stop him from doing that Plain.
Simphiwe, talk to us about police presence. From my vantage point, I see just one van in the shot now. It might be deceptive because I have one view. Talk to us about your view. What are you seeing in terms of your peripheral vision? Talk to us about the police presence in the area.
Certainly, Plain, we did see quite a few police vans being stationed outside this voting station when we arrived. And police are still very much here, Plain. It's just that I would say that they were overwhelmed by the situation, it would seem. And also they were not anticipating anything of this nature to happen here. The leader of the EFF walking with his supporters, unfazed at all, Plain, by what has transpired. He did say that he will be lodging a complaint with the IEC in an effort to have the ANC in this particular ward disqualified from participating in the elections after this incident. And of course, we are going to get a comment from the IEC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Plain.
Simphiwe, you said that it might not have been expected. Give the viewers some context in terms of the area you're in, historical context in terms of the tensions in the area between various political parties.
This community of KwaDambuza was one of those in the province of KwaZulu-Natal that had a lot of political violence during the early 1980s and 90s, Blaine. But obviously of late, the situation has been, relatively calm. Nothing of this nature, Blaine, was expected to happen here. If you look around, Blaine, a lot of young people here have been saying that they are unemployed. And if you look at the houses that are here, Blaine, some of them dilapidated mud houses, and the situation is not very, conducive for people to live. But of course, these political parties trying to send a message to one another, Blaine.
Simphiwe, with regards to the itinerary for the leader of the EFF, where to next, and is that in jeopardy in terms of moving to the next area? I know he says that there's no-go area, so he'll probably be determined to move on and keep to his itinerary or his schedule. But what's the feeling on the ground? Can things change?
Certainly not, Blaine. The leader of the EFF is going to be visiting quite a few schools in the Pietermaritzburg area, continuing, of course, his final push for encouraging people to actually register and check their status in terms of their registration. The leader of the EFF, when we spoke to him a short while ago, he did say that even though this is unfortunate, but he's not going to withdraw in terms of campaigning. He will stick to the program, and he's got quite a few actually locations to go to. And as I speak to you, he's walking around this community, and some of the onlookers are busy taking pictures of him. Some of them waving at him, excited to see him. He's also waving back at the crowd. That's been the situation, Blaine, here. But of course, Blaine, as you pose the question of political intolerance, you know that KwaZulu-Natal is one of those areas in South Africa where there's been, a lot of historical, political intolerance as well as violence. From the scenes we saw earlier on, Blaine, during those clashes, there were quite a few, punches blown at each other. But in terms of the extent of the injuries, I'm not in a position to say just how severe the situation is in terms of the, extent with regards to the injuries. But certainly some of the people were assaulted, and that's the situation as I speak to you, Blaine. The leader of the EFF currently working with his entourage, his supporters, as well as his protection unit, ensuring that he walks the streets of KwaDambuza free, without any form of, his life being in danger, Blaine.
It just reminds me of what the IFP just yesterday calling on political parties to ensure there is peace and stability in KwaZulu-Natal ahead of the November 1st elections. The party went on to say that, people should have the free will to participate in the elections. Simphiwe, you're a seasoned journalist. You've been covering politics in KwaZulu-Natal for many, many years. Give us a sense of the political dynamics in that province that has the potential of leading to scenes like this.
Blaine, when we have been speaking to ordinary South Africans on the ground with regards to their expectations ahead of the elections, I can categorically say that there is a lot of, people who are saying that they will not be, keen to take part in these elections because they are not happy with the current, situation that is happening at various municipalities in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Some of them citing the issue of not being listened to when they have issues with their councillors. So it would seem, Blaine, that there is that strong sentiment of people who say that because of these problems that we are facing as different communities, we will not be exercising our democratic right to, take part in the elections on the 1st of November playing. But in terms of the different political parties, of course, the ANC is in charge of the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and in particular, the eThekwini Metropolitan, which is the only metropolitan in the province of KwaZulu-Natal playing with over 53%. When we spoke to the leader of the EFF yesterday, he did say that they are now firmly putting their eyes on, taking control of that municipality, the only metro in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The ANC currently sitting at just over 53% playing. The EFF is not, though, the main opposition, but they do have 1 or 2 seats in that council, but they want to change the situation around. And of course, with the registration of young people, some of the people have been, attributing that percentage of young people registering to perhaps say that we could see a change in terms of the political setup in these different municipalities in the province of KwaZulu-Natal playing.
How likely is that to happen, Simphiwe? What are political analysts saying? What are commentators saying, given the current situation, current political dynamics in KwaZulu-Natal?
What they are saying plainly is that the ground is very much fertile for all these political parties to make inroads, with the new players as well coming on board, trying to make a mark for themselves. I'm going to steal this moment playing and try and speak to the leader of the EFF once more, just to find out in terms of his plan as he's doing this walkabout. Mr. Malema, thank you very much once again for joining us.
Yeah.
Where to from here?
Well, we are visiting different stations, but we decided to do a walkabout here in Dambuza to show everyone that there is no place in South Africa which can be a no-go area. So we are here. So we have no problem at all.
Did you plan this walkabout prior, or it's something that happened just after this?
No, I just took a decision now to walk because the ANC wants to declare this place a no-go area. So we want to show them that there is no place that will be a no-go area.
Talk to us, Mr. Malema, about the importance of young people taking part in this election. In this province alone, we hear that just over 1 million young people have registered to vote. What is going to be how crucial is their role going to be in this election?
The young people are going to decide the future of local government. They are very important, and if they come out in their numbers, they've got no sentimental attachment with the rusted organizations like the ANC. So they will vote for change. And we are happy that even the people who are coming out now to vote, it is young people. Yes.
Your itinerary still stands. You're not going to be skipping any of the locations where you had planned to visit?
I'm going to all of them. I'm not changing anything. I'm going on. Yes.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
That's the leader playing of the economic freedom fighters, Julius Malema, walking the streets of Dambuza, trying to send a message to the ANC in particular, to say, to the supporters of the ANC in particular, to say that he will not be, prevented from campaigning in this province of KwaZulu-Natal, calling for tolerance and calling for calm in this community, saying that people are free to exercise their democratic rights of campaigning and also of taking part in the elections playing.
All right, Simphiwe Makhanya live. Simphiwe Makhanya live for us in KwaZulu-Natal. So if you just join us, there's been some chaotic scenes at a voting station in Pietermaritzburg where reportedly EFF and ANC supporters clashed. As you can see in your screen, currently in the shot, Julius Malema, EFF leader, walking through the streets in Pietermaritzburg there, off that area, determined to continue with his itinerary. You heard from Simphiwe Makhanya getting that reaction. We will also, no doubt, endeavor to speak to the ANC, Simphiwe, with regards to their side of the story and what possibly triggered all of this. On the face of it, Simphiwe,
hello? Yebo. Okay, sure. Okay, they are live on us. Sure. We may run out of our battery though.
Well, these are live visuals coming through from Pietermaritzburg. Of course, EFF leader Julius Malema leading the march in Pietermaritzburg. This is the party is on making its way through the streets on the second day, in fact, the last day of the voter registration.